Hey everyone, welcome to or welcome back to the Solar Pedal Collective, where we rise through shared light. I'm Ryan. Great having you here. Great having your energy here. Today is kind of been unique on the drive into work. There was a cool cloud event where it made a double arch. It kind of looked what like the inside of a rib cage, like where like if you were looking up, you would see the sternum, and then you would kind of see like the arch like this, and the sternum would be the part in the middle. That's kind of what it looked like, and it looked like two arches like that, just cloud arches, and it was going for miles, and it was really cool looking. It looked like if I wasn't seeing it with my the eyes right here, I would have thought, like, if I was seeing it on a video, I would have thought that was like YouTube generated, or not YouTube, but AI generated, because the lines looked seamless. The lines looked perfect. It looked, everything looked perfect. Like, it looked like a painting. So that was really cool. And I had very interesting dreams last night. Dreams on religion. It was weird. It was really weird. Like, there was one. There were multiples, but one where I was what I think is the Vatican, just from like images that I've seen in movies and pictures and everything, because I haven't actually been to the Vatican. I haven't been to Rome. But like vivid, surreal memories of like the internal workings of the Vatican. And like, I was there, and we were going downstairs, and we were kind of like in an archival area, like an antechamber, like it was big, and there was noise off in the distance, kind of like reverberation from like talking or something going off in the distance. And I was following somebody, and then we turned to the left, and there was a door there, and we walked through, and then the person that was leading me is actively talking to me, but I can't remember what he was saying. Like, in my mind now, it's just murmurs. So apparently that's not important for me to remember it. But we walked through the door. He's still talking to me, and there's artifacts. Like, as we're walking by, there's artifacts. And I'm seeing it in the dream how I see aura now. So I'm seeing that kaleidoscope, rainbow prismatic aura on all these artifacts, and it's like the aura. How can I explain it here? We'll take this. This is a connector. This is a heavy duty connector. The aura that I see, and I can the funny thing is, I can see it looking through the camera. I can see it on the actual video. But like the aura that is on this connector, because there is an aura here. If you can't see it, I don't know why you can't see it. I can see it. But like, on this inanimate object that is not charged vibrationally by like spiritual worship or used in spiritual ways. This is just a connector. an electrical connector. The aura on this connector, as it is, kind of comes off about this far. About this far off the connector. It's very subtle. It's like a very subtle shimmer. In the dream, these artifacts, the aura, to use this as an example, the aura on these artifacts was like that far off the artifact. They were huge, huge auras, and it was just like radiant, like a radiant prism. It could be crystalline. I saw that because I've been trying to research like the kaleidoscope aura, like the prismatic aura things I'm seeing, and there was one where it's like crystalline or colorless, and it's relative to that, but it is not colorless. It is all color. That's the aura I'm seeing. The aura I'm seeing is not colorless. It is all color. So it is the opposite of colorless. But yeah, the auras were huge on these artifacts. It was crazy. And we're just walking by, and it's like it's almost overwhelming how big these auras were. And I'm just looking left and right, and I'm seeing, like, I'm not even seeing the artifacts, I'm seeing the auras, and they're just massive, and they feel alive. Like the energy feels alive. And like every single one that I walked past, it was like the moment I got to it in the hallway. So like we're kind of going down like this pathway, and the artifacts are on the side, like either up on podiums, or they're in glass cases or whatever. But as we're walking past, and I get to like each threshold where like the artifacts are in this pathway, like I come up to the threshold where like I would be crossing, where, let's see if I can do it on this camera. So like artifacts are staggered on this pathway, and as I'm going up, right when I would cross that threshold to where that artifact is in the pathway, I would feel its energy touch my vibrational field, my energy, and it felt like the energy that was surrounding the aura that was surrounding this artifact, that aura just goes and just sucks into my aura, and it grows my aura. And like as I'm walking past, that's what it feels like with every single one of these artifacts. And it's like it's just charging me as I'm going through this hallway in the Vatican. And then we finish going through this hallway, and we get to another door, and the guy turns around and he looks at me and just blanks, dead face, looks at me and goes, "Did you get enough?" And then I wake up. So that was the most vivid dream that I had last night. There was a lot, and it wasn't just the Vatican. Like also, like I was at Indian temples. Like I was at Buddhist temples. I was at I was at all these different religious, spiritual locations, and not always physically. Like even energetically, like I felt it, like my energy was there, my spirit was there, and and I feel exhausted today. I did not get a whole lot of sleep last night. I will admit, I did not get a whole lot of sleep last night. And these dreams are incredibly vivid. Like I remember these locations. I remember going to a Buddhist temple that is out in the middle of nowhere. There's no electricity around it. There is no civilization. It is just a temple out in the middle of nowhere. These monks are walking around. There is a huge open temple area, and it looks gorgeous. And you look at this temple, and I'm looking at this temple from the outside, and the aura is massive. It is massive. Like the aura that I saw off of those artifacts, the aura that was on this temple was giant. It was huge. And it was like I was going to each of these locations to get energy from those auras. Every single location. Like I was going there, and the moment that my aura touched the aura that was around these objects, it was like that aura just absorbed into mine. It was crazy. It was cool. It was wondrous. It was fascinating. It was amazing. Like, what is happening to me? So yeah, that was just last night, and I'm exhausted. Like, energetically, I'm exhausted. So, like, I could have been doing out-of-body experiences last night. Like, I could have been actually going to these locations spiritually, like energetically. My soul could have left my body, and I could have been going to these locations and gathering energy from them. But again, why? And that is the scientist part of me. That is the logical part of me. Like, I want to know why. Why am I, like, why did that happen? Why did I have those dreams? Just like way back when I was little, and I would have the dream that I could fly, like, and the specific way that I could get myself to fly. I dreamt it, like, every time that I dreamt that I could fly, I did the specific method. Every time. And then as I got older and I had that dream, like, as I got older and I no longer was having that dream as consistently, I remember having it when I was a teenager, like the same kind of setup. I remember the same kind of backdrop. Like, it was in an airfield, flat tarmac. And like, as a kid, I remember this, like, as a kid, it was always an airfield, flat tarmac. There was my dresser that when I was a kid, and I would climb up it and jump off it. And just before I hit the ground, I would swoosh and I would fly. And then I would be able to fly off. And I find it funny because as I got older and I was introduced to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it was funny because in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they tell you the method to fly, which is to throw yourself at the ground, and just before you hit the ground, you miss. That's how you fly. So yeah, that was a funny tangent. I just remember that, like, I found that out later on in life. And I was like, that's really interesting that I dreamt that before I found out that knowledge. Or found out that that was written like that. But then, when I was a teenager and I had the dream and I saw the airfield tarmac and I saw my dresser, but I was no longer a kid. I was dreaming, like, I saw myself as a teenager. And I looked at the dresser, and I still remember this. This is so vivid. Like, I looked at the dresser and I thought, there's no way that still works. So I climbed up the dresser and I jumped off and just smack into the ground, face first. Like, I had sort of face, I should say sort of face first, like bracing myself, like falling down to the ground, and it hurt. And I remember getting back up and looking at it and be like, that was just a stupid dream. And I would walk away. And that's how the dream would be for years. Like almost every year I would have that dream at least once when I was a teenager, growing up. And it would always be the same thing. Like I would see that tarmac, I would see the dresser, I would climb it as a teenager, and I would jump, and I would hit the ground every time. Because I was I would brace and I would hit the ground. Until one time, I think it was in my 30s, I had that dream. And this was after like some, yeah, this was after some very turbulent time in my life, a very depressive state, things like that. After all that, right as I was at the bottom, I would say right as I was at the bottom of the spiral, I had that dream. And it was me in my 30s. Like the tarmac, the dresser, I was in my 30s. Like I was as I was in that state. Like I had fallen asleep, started dreaming, and I was dreaming as the person that fell asleep. So I was in my 30s, I was at the bottom of that depressive spiral. Like everything seemed really dark, all that stuff. But I was in this dream. There was the air-filled tarmac. There was the dresser I had when I was a kid, still the same size, everything. And I thought to myself, like, let's get this over with. And I climbed up the dresser, and like, I remember standing there and looking at the ground and thinking, what is the point of this? I know I'm just going to hit the ground. And instead of like bracing instead of when I threw myself, not necessarily threw myself, but like when I leaned over, when I intended myself to fall, like doing the same routine, this time, like I was just whatever. And like didn't brace myself. I just fully embraced the fact that it was going to hit me in the face and everything. And like we would get on. And so I'm falling, and I'm thinking to myself, whatever. And I had my eyes closed, just like this. And I fell, and I didn't hit the ground. And I'm waiting for it. And then I look, and the ground is like right in front of my face. And the moment I opened my eyes, and I saw the ground was right in front of my face, like, the moment I thought about it, I hit. So, and oddly enough, that's what pulled me out of the spiral. Like, after that dream, the next day, like, I had a different aspect. I had a different outlook on life. It was like something clicked. And it was the coolest thing. But yeah, that was a big tangent. That was a big tangent I got off on. If any of that resonated with you, or if you had experiences like that, don't hesitate to leave a comment, because like I am thirsting for knowledge. I'm thirsting for other people's experiences, because apparently I'm going location to location to get energy. That's weird. And it's all like the prismatic kaleidoscope aura. I don't see like a specific color. And everything so far that I've read, everything that I've seen, it's usually you see a specific color to the chakra that is being dominant at that time, right? So like blue, red, yellow, green, depending upon like if it's solar plexus, sacral, throat, all that. But I don't see that. So let's see if we can channel anything. I haven't actually done my morning meditation or anything yet, so I'm just gonna quick see if I can center myself, and then we'll see if anything can come through, and we'll get on. All right. When you're the observer, you're not the player. When you're the player, you're also an observer. But when the situation isn't observed, anything is possible. You view dimensions incorrectly. Dimensions are as thin as a veil between two worlds, or as thick as the door you walk through to leave your house. Every portal, every exit, every doorway, every path is a dimension. You are moving through dimensions every day. The earth is moving through dimensions every day. Because we are not on a stationary spot in the universe. We are all moving. We are all vibrating. I saw a weird, like, pyramid, or not pyramid, but diamond with, like, wings. I saw 3 pyramids with a line that kind of looked like water, and then there was like a shimmer. So they looked like diamonds, but it was pyramids with a line, shimmer, and then another half that kind of completed it, made it look like a diamond, like a reflection. Religion isn't what you think. We had to keep knowledge safe. So we hid it in the works of the false ones. Not all gods are gods. They just play God. They fear losing that power. So they emit fear to control. I saw like an orb like this, and then lines shot out like that. to a bigger orb. So like it just zoomed out. It was like a smaller orb line shot out, and it's like to a bigger orb, and it's like hitting large area. And now I'm seeing like the smaller orb rotating around the bigger orb. Stop denying what you're blatantly seeing. You don't need to dig for the truth. Even when they're lying, they're telling you the truth. And the absence of the truth is truth. Learning to control the fear, because you will always have fear. You're not going to remove fear from your life, but learning to control it, learning to understand it, learning to embrace it and alchemize it into your will. When you do that, you'll be able to break the cycle and start your path to becoming awakened. Okay. That was interesting. Oof. I opened my eyes and like I was still seeing aura from visions that I was seeing when my eyes were closed. That was interesting. It was like an after effect. I saw an after effect of the entity that was like, there was literally an entity sitting across from me talking to me, and when I opened my eyes I saw like the after shadow of him, still him, it. I didn't see gender, honestly. I just say him, them, there we go, of them. So yeah, that was some interesting information. Interesting for it to say, like, to hear religion is not what you think. Especially after like all the dreams that I had last night of going to like spiritual locations that I would consider religious. So yeah, somebody needed to hear those. Maybe even I needed to hear those. And this is a timeless video, so you're going to hear it when you're meant to hear it. But I'm gonna leave it there, because yeah, I'm sorry. I'm told, like, somebody, like, I was just being spoken to, and they were like, but not yet. So it's like they had to give me the information. They're like, but don't say it yet. So apparently I'm not supposed to say it yet. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If any of it resonated with you, don't hesitate to leave a comment. If you have experiences, like, share it, because we rise through shared light. So sharing your experiences are going to help other people see that, hey, I'm not the only one. And that is enough. That is enough to, like, take another step on their spiritual journey, because then they start thinking, hey, if I'm not the only one and there's others, maybe I need to look into what I'm experiencing, and that just opens the door. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to do with these videos. That's ultimately what I'm told that I need to try to do with these videos, is to reach as many people as possible. because the energy that I'm essentially putting into these videos and the energy that people share with these videos when they watch them are going to is the energy that is going to awaken others. So like watching these videos, you're going to receive the energy from me that is coming through me into this video to you, and that I'm being told that is going to help you awaken. So like it, share it, comment. If you find yourself coming back, don't hesitate to subscribe. That'll help the channel. That'll help us grow, get us to more people. And hit that bell notification icon. That way you know when I'm posting more videos and in the future when I go live. So thank you so very much. Thank you for sharing your energy, and I hope you have a fantastic day.